Well, good afternoon, and this is a follow-up to last week's interview with Carlos. Uh, Carlos has brought in Liz Bahl, who is from the Learning Alliance, and Liz implemented the Tune Into Reading program. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And we're going to take a look at some of the happy things that happen when and this is not an in-school kind of thing. This is an in-home kind of thing, and this is the kind of thing that that we would hope teachers around the nation would become interested in. Right now, it is available in your area, but we're hoping that maybe it can go beyond that. We'll talk about that as we go along. So, I'm going to start by asking both Carlos and Liz to introduce themselves. Um, and Liz, how about we do ladies first in just a second? So, to kind of tell us just a quick something about your background, let Carlos do the same, and then we'll get into the first couple of questions. So, that all said, I need to change something on the computer here, and here we are. Okay, so Liz, take it away. Tell us about yourself and your quick something about your organization.
Sure, sure. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me. My name is Liz Ball. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Learning Alliance, and we are a nonprofit dedicated to getting kids reading on grade level by the end of third grade, because as I'm sure anybody watching this podcast knows, that is a huge issue and challenge. And we have been successful in moving the needle in Indian River County, which is where we're located. Um, so yeah, our we have a very big, hairy, ambitious goal of getting 90% of third graders reading on grade level. And we are currently at 63%, up from 53% when the organization started. And of course, that was a different assessment. So I don't even like to actually use that comparison because the test changed. But we were 60% before COVID, and we're now at 63%. We've held that for 2 years, and we're super excited about the progress that we're making. And we try to tackle this goal in a few ways, but I'm probably saying too much now. I'll probably get into that later, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, but we definitely want to hear all about the Alliance, the Learning Alliance. And Carlos, we talked to you last week, but can you give us just a quick rundown on yourself and one programs that you've created?
Sure. So I created Tune Into Reading at first because I wanted to learn to sing in tune, and that early program software that taught me to sing in tune by showing me if I was sharp or flat turned out to help struggling readers. And so I've been on a long journey, 16, 17 years of making this available at schools and now through our tablet program at home. And I was so excited to meet Liz Ball and learn about the Learning Alliance. We're based in Tampa. The Learning Alliance is based in Vero Beach, so right across the state from us. So usually both of us have to evacuate if a hurricane's coming. That's a good sort of geographic point there to sort of place things. But we love their mission. We love that they refer to their goal as a moonshot, type of a goal. We're hoping that we love to help Vero Beach become the first county and community in the country to get 90% of their third graders reading on grade level. Liz has mentioned, they've already made nice progress in the years they've been working on it. So this is a good time for me to shut up and pass the
Okay.
baton to you, Sam.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask my first question then. Uh, and I have to do a little button on here we go. So my first question is this, and either of you are welcome to chime in on this. But mainly this one I think is aimed at Liz. When and how did you first find out about Tune Into Reading? And tell us about that early history of here we have two nonprofits working there in Florida, and you found out about each other, and a lot of magic happened. Tell us about that magic.
Yeah, that's actually a great story. We have it was the vice chairman of our board of directors is a gentleman named David Dyer, who was like the chief executive officer of Tommy Hilfiger and Chico's, and very successful businessman. Super passionate about literacy, and is on our board of directors. And he heard of Carlo's program, and David always would bring best to us to see best practices, because we are a learning organization, so we're always trying to learn what people are doing out there, and made the introduction. And then we ended up piloting Tune Into Reading the summer of 2020, in response to that and to COVID, because it's a tablet-based program, and we've been implementing it ever since. So thank you, David Dyer, for that introduction.
Okay.
And that was like 5 years ago, right, Liz? We've
Right.
been doing this for darn near 5 years, and we have a great partnership, and particularly in focusing on the summer slide. I mean, I think we've really developed some data with Liz's help. Not every school district we work with, not every school we work with has the resources and the discipline to do pre and post assessments. And so that has just been a great trove of data, which of course Tim Brzezinski wrote that great white paper on, Sam, that you saw.
Right.
And Liz is, of course, familiar with all the data. It was hers. And so, yeah, wonderful partnership. 5 years now, going on 5 years.
Okay, well, a lot of my audience are administrators, teachers especially, and they want to know, hey, guys, what does it look like to implement this program? What's this all about? And I'm going to combine the two questions and leave it open to the two of you. What's it like to implement it, and what does it look like, and how have your teachers and coaches responded to it? So it's all yours.
I'll start with this. I just want to say that it's a super smooth and easy to implement program, with Carlo's help and the people that he has working on his team. It's really, in a time like we were frantic in COVID, like, how are we going to catch these kids up? What are we going to do? Everybody's, nobody's in school, what are we going to do to stop the summer slide? And this program just came along at the perfect time. It's a tablet-based program with these cellular-enabled tablets. So even, our title schools where we actually implemented this, if their families had connectivity problems or didn't have Wi-Fi, these cellular tablets would work. And then we basically have what I call them coaches, but they're teachers that they're really coaching the families, checking in with the families every week to make sure that the students are getting the minutes that they need for the program to be effective. And we've had great results, and the kids seem to love it, and the families love it. And I can't say enough about the ease of implementation with Carlo's support.
Okay. And Carlos, could you throw that slide up again, showing the uh, uh, tablet?
Yep. I remember the kid on the left in particular, Liz, because that kid had over 4 or 5 times the amount of time on the program that we recommend to get the gains, the dramatic gains. And we couldn't be more tickled to see that kind of enjoyment and pleasure taken with the program.
Okay, and there's something I'm kind of noticing here. Guys, that doesn't look like a computer lab to me. It doesn't look like they're in school. What's going on here? Tell me about that aspect of things.
Well, it was implemented over the summer, and it can be done really anywhere, so in the home, if they're switching homes from going to mom's and going to dad's, if it's a divorced family situation, they can take it, they can go on summer vacation with it as long as we get it back at the end. So, something you can do in the car, which I heard drove some parents crazy because they were singing in the back seat the whole time. But hey, but yeah, so no, it's very clever, easy to use. The kids love it. They don't even know that they're doing coursework or working on their reading. And the other thing I love about it is it is it grows with the child. So it starts where the child is currently reading on their level, so they can feel successful and they stick with it. And then it gets more difficult as they pass the quizzes and the comprehension quizzes, and they master the fluency of the song. So it's really a great program.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
Can I jump in? Liz, I think your team was particularly creative with the week-to-week incentives. I think you were giving for proper. Tell me again, because it's different than the way we've done it with the local schools in Tampa a little bit. What did you guys do?
Yeah, we did, just to keep them, motivated, and it was really amazing because you could see the usage go up. We would bi-weekly, we would give everybody like a $5 gift card to either McDonald's or Wrestler's 33 flavors or whatever, or Dunkin' Donuts, or something, and the Dollar Tree. And we would make sure we get these cards to them every 2 weeks. And then with the promise of at the end of the implementation, if they get their 900 minutes, which they need to get at least 900 minutes on the program, they would get their own prize tablet to keep.
Okay.
I'm going to throw up a slide of that right now, if that's
Sure.
okay, Sam.
So incentives really do work. Yeah.
All right.
That's the end of the celebration, end of the session celebration, little pizza party, and she's showing her prize tablet.
Yeah, here's two other guys, and I'll point out that because some of the kids, we tell them, as Liz mentioned, it's 900 minutes in order to get the benefit. The kids gain a full year in about 3 months' time, and which is remarkable and amazing. And I encourage people who feel skeptical to be skeptical and just, use whatever assessment tool you trust before and after and convince yourself, see for yourself. But because some kids do, instead of 900 minutes, 1,800 minutes, double, or even 2,700 minutes, we recognize that with a larger and larger prize tablet, as we call it. So I think the kid on the right has probably the 7 or the 8-inch tablet, whereas the kid on the left must have done over triple what we asked, because he has the Mac Daddy tablet, as we call it, the 10-inch tablet. And I think this is a shot of the whole group at that particular school, all the kids who earned their tablets, and of course they've got their certificates as well. And what a great way to support reading during the summer in particular. I don't know if I have the data charts here, but maybe Sam, were you going to ask a question about the reading gains?
Oh, gosh, it's right here. Yes. Okay. So let's. I'm going to make a quick comment about why the reading game before we get into the reading game, and that is all this is based on Brzezinski's idea of repeated readings. And you've got more than just repeated readings going on. You've got comprehension checks going on. There's a lot of things that are just built into this, and it's basically a turn the tablet over and let the kid read away. And for the kid, it's just that wonderful experience of singing us away. Really, that's been my theme this summer, singing our way into fluency, and that's just what they're doing. So there's a good, solid research base behind how the tablet works, and you've done some amazing things with the program to make sure that happens. Now, what I want to hear next is some of the amazing results in a summer where kids are usually backsliding. Your kids are going forward. So can you talk to that?
Absolutely. All right. which implementation was this, Carla? I'm trying
This
to,
is
oh,
actually
2020. This
summer
was,
summer of 20, and I think we only had that was our smallest group of kids, right?
this was our pilot. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So you can see you typically lose about 13 points during the summer for your summer slide, and our kids gained 22. So not only stopping the summer slide, but really accelerating. And I'd have to look at that. These were rising third graders,
Yep.
so they're going from second to third grade. And you actually, so interestingly, you should be reading at the 50th percentile, 83 words correct per minute at the beginning of third grade. And so they ended the summer at 96. So that's pretty impressive.
So in exceeding their grade level expectations. And I'll mention that there's more to it than just reading fast here.
Absolutely.
There are comprehension checks within it and the rest. So I'm just absolutely enthralled and impressed with this. For my own part, well, oh, yeah, we have another slide. Talk about it, please.
So
Now,
this
I
is,
wanted to throw this up there, Liz, because I think this was kind of your year of, did we really see what we thought we saw last summer? This was the kind of did lightning strike twice kind of a
yeah,
question. And
yeah,
this is, I think, a slide that you maybe made.
yeah. I don't recall this slide. That was so long ago, you guys. But
Yeah, it was.
anyway, but so just to say, we did the pilot in 20. We implemented it again in the summer of 2021, saw similar results. And then 2022, I think, is when we did the Rosinski study.
Yeah, he looked at data from at least two and maybe three summers.
Okay, yeah. And 20, yeah, exactly. But 2022, we did a very rigid pre and post assessment. So we've always just done the oral reading fluency, and it's always come out great. But what I want to really point out is that I think that your viewers might be super interested in knowing is how does this translate to the standardized test?
Hmm.
And it's really hard to show that in a summer implementation because you're looking at the standardized test at the end of second grade and then the beginning of third grade, which of course are different. So it's really hard to look at that. But when we implemented it after school, which we've done, we did this past year, we had it translated to great standardized test scores. As a matter of fact, we had our students in second grade, we did second and third grade
Mhm.
in the spring, showed 69% more growth, proficiency growth on the standardized test. And our third graders, and of course, this is a different test because we're in Florida, so we've got the FAST Florida Assessment of Student Thinking is for third graders. They showed 23% more growth than their peers that did not participate in the program on reading proficiency. So that's when, it's great to have that oral reading fluency data point because we know that it's important and this is a great program for fluency. But this is the standardized ELA test that's how it translated. So I think that's a really important data point.
Okay, and I'll just chime in here that somehow or another, I think the fact that you're getting comprehension gains as well as fluency gains is endemic in the program itself, because the program, while the program does a marvelous job, just a marvelous job on building fluency, it also has comprehension elements built into it. And here's the final thing: this is mainly like a turnkey. Okay.
Mhm.
The kid takes the tablet. You monitor to make sure they're doing the reading on the tablet, and it could be used in classrooms. It certainly looks like it could, but it's also used at home. And I guess now this could this has a lot of potential. What if my readers were interested in trying to try something like this out? I know for me personally, I've got a tablet coming for the kid I'm working with this summer,
Good.
and the rest. But I know that you don't really have the funding to go outside your area right now. But what are you open to people contacting you, perhaps,
Sure.
to see if they could get the funding, if you could
Yeah.
provide.
So,
Talk
so
about
the,
that.
yeah, Sam. So the Learning Alliance focuses obviously in Indian River County, and they've got a tremendous presence there built up over the 10 or plus years they've been working there. Sing Out and Read has the Tampa Bay area to work in. And what I'm wearing kind of my, call it not my SOAR hat, but my just tune into reading hat. I would love it if, whether it's in St. Louis or Minneapolis or any other community where a teacher wants to bring the Tune Into Reading program on the tablet with the coaches, to that community. We'd be happy to advise, share with them expertise, tell them what kind of funding they need to get, give them examples of grants that we've written, that we've won, that were awarded, and so on. And so the key thing is anyone in your outside of Vero Beach or Tampa should feel very comfortable just contacting me at carlo@singoutandread.org. And then maybe, Liz, if you'd be open, I know you're about to go on this wonderful vacation that I'm very jealous about. Maybe when you get back and get settled, if you wouldn't mind, maybe we could refer some people to you if they've got specific questions, maybe that apply to the Learning Alliance.
Yeah, and I just want to add to that quickly. I don't know how we're doing on time, but just to let people know that Carlo and I have they've provided training via Zoom, shipped the tablets. Like, this can definitely be you supported remotely. And so I think any community, no matter where you are, could in the United States could successfully implement this program and feel very well supported. And then the other thing is that the back end of the program has wonderful data, reports, and really easy to read and gather and understand how all the children in the program are doing. So it's really very user friendly.
Okay, well, that's going to bring us to the point of, and I'm here changing my view again. Okay, that's going to bring us to the point of saying, boy, did I leave anything out? Uh, I don't know. I might put Liz on the spot here. Gosh, Liz, I understand you're going to Spain and making a presentation on emergent learning. So I'm going to put you on the spot here for a second. Just, gosh, what kind of things are you going to be telling those people in Spain?
So emergent learning is, if you're not familiar with it, which I think a lot of people are not, but there are similar frameworks out there. But emergent learning is a framework that we use at the Learning Alliance to really put learning back into the system as quickly as possible. So through these rapid feedback loops. And we do some of the things that we do are one thing we do is called a framing question. So anytime you're grappling with a problem, and we use this all the time, this is a part of emergent learning, is a framing question. It always starts with, what does it take to, then you present your problem such that, and then you have your solution. So when we actually came up with our vision is to cultivate creative, literate, compassionate citizens who will improve our world. Our framing question was, what does it take to get 90% of children reading on grade level by the end of third grade, such that we cultivate literate, compassionate, creative citizens who can improve our world? So that's a framing question. It's really amazingly works very well anytime you have a problem. Just, what does it take, your problem, such that your solution? So that's one example. We also do BARs and AARs, which are before action reviews and after action reviews. And there's several strategies, but look into emergent learning. It's a great framework for problem solving and coming up with solutions.
Okay. Wow. So lots of information here, lots of possibilities, and I just could you throw that moonshot one back up just for a second there,
Oh,
Carl?
sure. The slide of the astronaut on the
Yeah,
moon
I
reading the
think that
book.
would be a great way to end this.
I love that slide as well.
Here it comes, maybe.
Our
Yeah.
moonshot. Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now that's what I'm talking about. Okay. So
Maybe, Sam, maybe we should title this, If You Want to Get to the Moon, You Need to Be Able to Read.
okay, I like it. Okay, well, with that and tuning into reading, uh, I think we are close to wrapping this up. But before we do, I always have a little anything that we should have said that should have, would have, could have said that we haven't said. Now's your chance. Either one of you, or we kind of covered it all.
I feel like we covered it all. I'd leave the audience perhaps with the idea that this is a problem that's been going for a very long time. We've known for 50 years that there are these large gaps in reading achievement between kids of color and other communities, and they don't need to be there. We can do something about it, and I think it would be a great legacy for our generation to leave behind is by demonstrating and in fact narrowing, and then ultimately closing these gaps. There's so many great strategies out there. Consider singing your way to fluency and tune into reading, emergent learning that Liz talked about, and together I think we can really cover some new ground and leave quite a lasting legacy.
Okay. Okay. Well, uh, Liz wasn't in on this last time, but I think you've seen some of my broadcasts. We always end with that smiling uh, Zoom wave goodbye. Thank you both very much. This has been so informative, and uh, I hope there's more coming forth. I hope some folks get a contact you about all this. Okay,
Thank you.
so goodbye.
Thank you, Dr. Sam.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.